Hey everybody, this is late. I know other people have already had this phone for like a week or two, but this is an unboxing of the OnePlus 5T. So I'm quite excited because I've been a fan of OnePlus phones since the original, because I really like Oxygen OS. Well, in the original OnePlus One, it actually wasn't Oxygen OS. It was another software, but I liked Oxygen OS since the OnePlus 2. I think it's basically like stock Android, except it's better because there's more customization option. It reminds me of Nova Launcher almost. So right off the bat, OnePlus is really cool. It ships you the phone with 4Ks. Well, to reviewers anyway, so if you're a consumer buying this, I don't think you'll get the case, sorry. So you have a wooden case. This is, I believe, a red rubber. This is like the grippy matte texture. I'll open these later. Let's check out the phone first. Let me grab my knife. So the phone, yep, the phone is right at the top of the box, like all previous OnePlus devices. I actually think that's kind of scary. I've always been a bit paranoid that, because you know this box is tight too. So you're opening it like you're trying to pull, and then what if the phone just bounces and falls on the floor? Because the phone's actually elevated too from the box. But I guess OnePlus has designed this, so you see it grips onto the phone pretty tight, fortunately. But it's just always scary for me to pull open the box with force and I see that the phone is actually like sitting on the edge of the box. But that's how OnePlus has done it for a while now, so I will get to this part later. I'm so glad this phone is matte black. I remember for the OnePlus 3T that I reviewed, it was like a gold unit, and man, I just don't like gold phones. That's a personal opinion. Other people might find it fine, but I just think matte black looks so much better than like some gold, shiny, like glittery phone. So really similar unboxing experience. OnePlus has kept the same box design language for like 3-4 generations now. So you have the red charging cable, charging brick. This is probably gonna charge super fast. OnePlus's dash charge is like probably the fastest charging tech in the industry. Actually, I believe it's faster than even Huawei's, which is probably the second. Oh, nice. So you get a case already with the packaging. This is new. I don't remember getting a case for the OnePlus 5 or the OnePlus 3. So you already get a case in addition to, well, this is a case for the consumer, because these will cost extra to like the average Joe. So you have instructions, SIM ejector tool, that's it. So no earphones, which I don't think OnePlus ever included anyway. That's because this phone doesn't have oh, it does, it has a headphone jack. Sorry, it has a headphone jack but no headphones. So let's try on the case really quick over the paper. Fits pretty nicely. Rubber case. I'm pretty sure these will feel a lot better. So let's get to my favorite part of the phone. There's not much to peel, it's only on the back. That's it, because the front, this is actually a screen protector, so I'm going to leave on there because I'm paranoid. I don't want to rip it off and then scratch the phone. So let's power on the device. Okay, so really quick, I want to do a size comparison between the OnePlus 5T and the Vivo V7 Plus. They should be very similar because Vivo and Oppo and OnePlus are actually owned by the same parent company. They're actually one company. So it's pretty damn cool if you think about it, because Vivo and Oppo are like the number 3 or number 4 biggest smartphone companies in the world, but they're really actually one company. So if you add up OnePlus, Vivo, and Oppo, if you count them as one company, you can argue that they are the biggest phone company in China, bigger than Huawei, because Huawei's number 1, and Oppo's number 2, I believe, and Vivo's like number 3 and number 4, and then OnePlus is really small in China, but it's big globally. It's popular globally. So you add up all three, it might be enough to overtake Huawei. So compare the two phones. Yeah, so virtually the exact same dimension, except that the OnePlus 5T is a little bit curvier. Right here is a little bit curvier compared to the Vivo V7 Plus. In terms of the display, you see the top and bottom bezels are virtually identical. I mean, look at it. I called this. I actually wrote a piece for Forbes saying the OnePlus 5T probably will look just like the Vivo V7 Plus. So you look at the top, exact same bezels. Even the rounded corners are similar, like just very barely round, compared to say on the LG V30, which is, you know, rounded. Sorry, this is an ugly screen protector, which is rounded quite a bit. Or on the iPhone 10, which I have on me right here. iPhone 10 is rounded very drastically. So it's a quick size comparison between the OnePlus 5T and the Huawei Mate 10 Pro. This is an excellent phone, by the way. Almost the exact same size. Huawei Mate 10 Pro and the OnePlus 5T. So same height, same width. I mean, look at it. You don't, when you put them, stack them on top of each other, it's not you see one stick out because they're the exact same width virtually. So in terms of the display, very similar. The bezels, the bottom bezels are again virtually identical. Yeah, top and bottom bezels are virtually the exact same size. You have the LG V30 now. Let's do a quick comparison. LG V30 has smaller bezels, smaller top bezel, smaller bottom bezel. I already knew that because LG V30 is probably the sleekest phone out there. These bezels are actually slimmer than the bezels on the Samsung Galaxy S8 and on the iPhone 10. So the OnePlus 5T is a little bit taller, about the same width. They're both 6-inch screens, but because the LG V30 has a smaller, slimmer bezels, it's not as tall. So here's side by side the iPhone 10. iPhone 10 is going to be a lot smaller, a lot thinner because 5.8-inch screen and also more bezel-less. So anyway, I'm going to set this phone up. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I'm back. So I've been using the OnePlus 5 for about all afternoon, and I mean, you already know what I'm going to say. I'm very, very impressed. I've been a fan of OnePlus's phones for several generations now. OnePlus 3 was when the OnePlus phones started getting really good, to a point that whenever friends and family ask me what phones they should get, I always recommend a OnePlus phone. And why is that? It's not because OnePlus phones are hands down the best phones on the market, but OnePlus phones are the best phones if you factor in the value. Like, you're talking about an iPhone 10 is like $1,000. You can get this phone for $499. Is the iPhone 10 twice as good as the OnePlus 5T? Hell no. It might be like 5% better. It's not twice as good. So when you factor in money, if value matters to you, this is right off the bat, I'm just gonna say it, this is the best phone you can buy dollar for dollar. But that's not the reason why I love this phone, because, you know, I actually have money to buy a more expensive phone, and plus I get them sent to me anyway. So what I like about this phone is just all the little things. The software, I love Oxygen OS. It's my favorite software in all smartphones. I like it better than stock Android because it looks like stock Android. It's clean as hell, but there's also a lot more customization. For example, on stock Android, you can't pull down a notification shade by swiping anywhere on the phone. You have to reach all the way at the top of the screen. That's a little bit annoying when you're holding the phone one-handed and you can't reach the top, right? I know the Pixel phones added like a gesture on the back, but it's still easier to just be able to swipe anywhere. And also, you can, on the OnePlus phones, you can customize these buttons to do anything. So for example, I've set it so now when I long press on the back button, the display turns off. How awesome is that? That's a little bit better than needing to reach for the power button every single time, right? And these are all customizable. So I can set it so when I long press on the back button, it'll open Facebook or go into the selfie camera. And little things like double tap on the screen to turn it on, or you can draw a circle to turn on the camera. Again, fully customizable. I can change it so when I draw a circle, it launches like Instagram or Twitter or Snapchat, whatever. So software experience is just amazing. I love it. I love how much options I have, and even little things like opening a folder. Once the folder's up, I can either back out of it like normal, or I can swipe on it, like swipe down. So this is kind of iPhone inspired. Or I can even just touch anywhere on the screen to leave a folder. So there's 3 different ways to leave a folder, and I think they're all very useful. So in terms of hardware specs, this phone doesn't lose out. Snapdragon 835, 8 gigs of RAM, 6-inch OLED display. Now I'll be honest, the OLED display isn't as brilliant, isn't as vibrant as a Samsung Galaxy Note 8 display, but it's still very damn good. And again, you consider the price. This is $500 bucks. The Samsung Galaxy Note 8, it's like $850 right now. So with that powerful software, 8 gigs of RAM, and a clean ass software, this is a super fast phone. So there are 2 other areas of this phone that's really fast. In fact, it's so fast it's scary. The first is face unlock. So this phone has facial recognition. It's not anything as in-depth or as high-tech as what the iPhone X does with the facial mapping. The OnePlus 5T just uses a selfie camera to kind of identify your face, and apparently OnePlus says that it tracks like 100 different features, like the distance of your eyes, or like how big your nostrils are or something. I don't know how secure it is, but it is super fast. In fact, it is so fast, when you look at the phone or you power it on, it goes straight into the home screen. It bypasses the lock screen completely. That's actually kind of annoying sometimes, because sometimes I just want to look at the lock screen, but as soon as I look at the phone, it jumps straight into the home screen. But as I mentioned, OnePlus is awesome. They give you so many ways to customize. So if you go into settings, there is a way to stop that by adding a swipe gesture. So you can set it so when it won't begin scanning your face until you swipe on the lock screen. So earlier I mentioned that I don't know how secure it is. I did actually in fact try to trick it. I took a photo of my face up with an iPad Pro, so it's large. It has a full, I made the photo full size. It couldn't trick the phone. I'm gonna go down to the store later and print out a photo of my face. It's gonna look weird as hell when I go to the store and be like, hey dude, can I print out a picture of my head? But anyway, I'm gonna try to trick it with that. But from what I've read online so far, it doesn't seem like that will work too. So considering how fast the face unlock is, it's pretty secure. So the second thing that's super fast, charging. OnePlus develops its own proprietary charging tech called Dash Charge. It's actually been fast for a couple generations now, but on this phone it seems to have jumped a level. Earlier, I plugged in the device at 60% battery, and then 10 minutes later, I unplugged the phone and it had 77%. So it jumped 17% in 10 minutes of charge. That's 17% in 10 minutes. That's insane. But unfortunately, you can only achieve this fast charging speed with OnePlus's own charging brick and cable. So you must use this exact setup to get that full speed. If you use this brick with another cable, or you use this cable with another brick, it won't charge as fast. So earlier I mentioned the display isn't as good as an iPhone X or Galaxy Note 8, but that doesn't mean it's a bad display. I mean, it's still very vibrant, very punchy, and let's check out the sound. So the speaker obviously can't compare it to the Razer phone, but so you have a single speaker grill at the bottom. That is it. I'm not sure there's a stereo sound. Let me check. Oh no, you do. Apologies. So you do get sound coming out of the earpiece too. So the sound at max volume, it's a little bit slightly distorted, but it's not bad at all. By the way, any of you guys see Justice League? So I wasn't a fan of Batman vs Superman. I thought it was too dark, too bitter, and just made the characters unlikable. But Justice League, I like it. So I feel bad for Warner's now that this film is getting trashed by critics, and that the box office is kind of disappointing, because I felt like Justice League really changed the tone and fixed the flaws of the previous movies. Now the characters are likable. Like Superman is heroic, and you know, Superman has a sense of humor. He's not like always moody and looking like he wants to commit suicide or something. So anyway, I'm getting off topic, but I like Justice League even though I hated Batman vs Superman. So if anyone's interested in film and want to discuss film with me, feel free to comment. I actually, in addition to tech, I actually review films. So this is me on Rotten Tomatoes. I actually review movies for a publication. But anyway, back to the phone. As mentioned, 18:9 aspect ratio, 6-inch display, so Instagram story looks amazing on this. You are able to have the navigation button display full like all the time, or hide the navigation button. So this is just, for $499. This is beautiful, man. Like I said, this phone is exactly, it feels and looks exactly like the Vivo V7 Plus, but the software is a hell lot cleaner and the camera is slightly better too. So now, about that camera, I know that reviews so far have said it's slightly disappointing, and I gotta admit, it probably isn't as good as an iPhone 10 or a Galaxy Note 8, but again, this one's half the price. So I really like that the camera software is very easy to use with one hand. You have a button for 1x, 2x zoom, of course, and you just have to swipe up from the top of the camera interface to access all your different shooting modes. Or conversely, you can tap a button to switch to selfie camera, or swipe to the right to get video recording, or swipe to the left to get to the bokeh camera. The photo shot on the 5T, it's pretty impressive. You have really good dynamic range, colors are accurate, and just a little bit punchy too. And then the 2x zoom camera, it's pretty good. So now this is let's compare it to the iPhone 10's 2x zoom, and then also the Galaxy Note 8's 2x zoom. I think they look comparable. When you view the photos on a smartphone screen, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. It was only when I put it on my large 40-inch monitor did I see a difference. But otherwise, like this picture of the flower, I thought you get a lot of details. The camera speed is very fast, and low light performance, it's okay too. So right here, this is a picture taken of my living room door with like no lights on, so just a little bit of natural sunlight. So this shot turned out okay. Now let's look at the same shot taken by the iPhone 10. So notice that the shot on the iPhone 10 is actually a little bit warmer than on the OnePlus 5T. I think the OnePlus 5T actually looks like a better shot, although the iPhone 10's image is a bit more realistic to the scene. So now let's look at another set of low light photos of my living room. So again, the OnePlus 5T produced a shot that's very similar to the same shot produced by the iPhone 10 or the Galaxy Note 8. Where OnePlus's camera suffers when I go into 2x zoom in low light, that's when the photo looked noticeably grainier with a lot more noise and less detail than the iPhone 10. But the Note 8's picture actually didn't turn out good too. Now let's look at some video samples. So notice how smooth the OIS is. I mean, I'm walking down the street right now at a really fast pace, and zooming into the sign, everything looks good. Let's check out another video. So this is in 60 frames per second. Look at how smooth everything's turning out. This is very impressive actually, and I'm zooming in. I like zooming. The camera software is very easy to zoom into. There's a slider to zoom in and out. So it's very fast, very convenient. This is a very impressive video, man. So gaming on the 5T is about as good as you would expect. I mean, it definitely isn't inferior to gaming on the LG V30 or the Huawei Mate 10 Pro. So now the Razer phone's a better performer because you get the 120Hz screen, but no slouch here. Again, for this phone's $499, so this is a mid-tier device, and you're getting the exact same performance as you would get on like a $900 Samsung phone. So that is it for this hands-on. I would definitely have more on this phone because this is definitely one of my favorite phones of the year. OnePlus phones are always the best value out there, and I always think the software is just so amazing. It makes me like really just jealous that why other phones cannot just use this software. The metal back looks really great too. So again, because I have options, I might not use this phone full time. I'll jump back and forth between the Huawei Mate 10 Pro or the iPhone 10. But if you're like an average person buying a phone and you kind of care about money and all that, why spend $1,000 on the iPhone 10 when you can buy it for $500? Or why spend $900 on a Samsung when this is $499? It's amazing, man. Good job, OnePlus. Thanks for watching.